I found this on the web for who is the top ranked recruit in the country. Check it out.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Unclouded Recruit, where we get reviews from former student athletes about their experience at their universities. Let's go.
Good afternoon, everybody. We're on another episode of Unclouded Recruit. We got a real special guest today. Introduce yourself real quick, man.
Man, what's going on, man? My name Darius Curry. Born and raised in Georgia, good old Georgia down south, man. Now formerly reside in Oklahoma. My people saying Fort Smith, Arkansas, man. So that's how I met my boy Dean right here. So yeah.
Okay. When you start playing football? What age did you start playing football?
Man, shoot. Being that I got two other brothers, I got, of course, I got Justin, my younger one, CJ, my older one. Shoot, we've been playing football since forever. Well, organized, though, 9 years old, dog, Augusta, Georgia, man. I doggone played right guard, running back, linebacker. Hey, look, they just put you where you can get in. Shoot, I'll tell you, I play right guard in the first half, and the second half we switched the other running back to right guard, and I played, man. But yeah, man. Shoot, I started playing at 9 years old, and started playing at 9, and just so happened, my pops a coach, and so we've been around the game for forever. So I always knew that was going to be something that I was going to be into for sure.
Okay. When did you really start taking football really, really serious? What age or what grade?
To be honest with you, when we moved to the Gwinnett County area, like Metro Atlanta area, when I was in 6th grade. Now I've always loved football, but it was kind of different in Augusta because I guess you would say the advancement wasn't there as far as, being in Atlanta, you know what I'm saying, it's moving kind of fast out there. So when we moved to the Gwinnett County area, they had a little football league called GFL. You know what I'm saying? It was like in Kids Sports Illustrated, this, that, and the other. Like I played some of the top dudes, you know what I'm saying? That's in the league now. They all, it was a lot of cats in Atlanta that played in that league. And so we was hot stuff in Augusta. You know what I'm saying? We was the best dudes on our team always. Like that's how it was. So when we moved up to the GFL league in Metro Atlanta, we was just like, dang, like we weren't the best dudes no more. Like it was dudes that was, as good and better. We was like, dang, like we, you know what I'm saying? And so that was really when, like, of course, from a young age, like, you guys my pops, man. I was always the dude that watched film. You know what I'm saying? When he was a coach, I always watched film with him from when I was young. You know what I'm saying? So I knew then when we got up there and we started playing with them cats, I was like, man, these dudes here is, you know what I'm saying, they on a different level. And so we just kind of took off from there, like, you know what I'm saying? Each year, it just kind of increased more and more. And so my love for the game, like, it's never gonna leave. You know what I'm saying? I'm coaching now, and I still get the same feeling walking out on that field, you know what I'm saying, getting ready for a game.
Same feeling.
Like I did when I was a player. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy. I was gonna have that feeling. I ain't really know what he was talking about at first, but now that I'm in it, I know exactly what he's talking about.
Dang. So, when you get your first college offer, what grade were you?
All right. So my sophomore year, we was at a school called North Hall High School. It was in Hall County. The county was Hall County in Georgia, and so it's like North Georgia area. And so at this time I'm a sophomore. My brother CJ, he's a junior. So stuff had already popped off for him, you know what I'm saying? And so by most, he was rated the number one receiver in Georgia in his class. It'll be either one or two, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of people say he was the number one in his class. And so Tennessee had called my brother to offer him. And so I'm just chilling outside. Like, I mean, I'm a sophomore. I had a pretty solid sophomore season, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not thinking like I can get offered or nothing like that yet. You know what I'm saying? I knew I still had a lot of work to do. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And so I doggone, like, I'm outside shooting the basketball. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm happy for my brother, but not that we got less excited, but at this time it kind of was routine that he was getting offered. So we was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what's up type deal.
Yeah.
And so I'm out, like, for real. And so I'm outside just chilling, and my pops or my brother, I can't remember, it was like, hey man, we got coach on the phone, want to talk to you. I was like, all right, like, you know what I'm saying? So I get on the phone. It was, I think it was the DB coach at the time. I can't remember his name, but at Tennessee, bro, Tennessee had called me. They had gave me, it was like, hey man, I just want to let you know, we just offered your brother, yada yada yada. He was like, I was like, yeah, I know that, you know what I'm saying? That's what's up. You know what I'm saying? If y'all get him, he's gonna be a good one, you know?
Yeah.
And so I was, and it was like, you know, just want to let you know we're gonna offer you too. So I'm in that thing hype. Hey, look, I'm hype. Well, I'm a sophomore boy, Tennessee, that just offered me, man. You know what I'm saying? That was my first offer, and then from there it kind of just took off. The next one was North Carolina State, and then the next one after that was Oklahoma State, and then so it just kind of just kept building and building. Auburn, South Carolina, you know what I'm saying? Penn State, Missouri, you know, and like they kind of just piled up. And so, yeah, man, that was a big day for me, man. I was too hot, couldn't sleep that night and everything. I remember, bro. So it was a cool experience, no doubt, man.
Man, so when you finished, how many offers did you have, like, total?
Man, to be honest with you, and you can even go look at ESPN, type in my name, look on ESPN right now. Like, they got it on there, but a lot of my stuff, like, I would get offered, but like the game kind of changing now. Every time somebody get offered, they post it. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? And even back then, people was posting it a little bit, but I was never like, I didn't, you know, I was happy, but I was like, man, I don't feel like I need to just be like, hey, I got offered by this, or I you know what I'm saying? But, and so I honestly don't know how many offers I ended up. It could have been around like 20 something, you know what I'm saying, offers, but yeah, about 20 something. So I don't know exactly the number, but it was a straight little bit, man.
Okay. So, you know, we know you ended up at Oklahoma State. How did you get?
Yeah.
What was the thought process on why you chose Oklahoma State? You know, did you commit, decommit, or what? How'd you get to Oklahoma State?
All right, so this was my deal. Like, all growing up, being a Georgia kid, I've always liked the University of Georgia. I've always wanted to go to Georgia, and so in the 2012 class, that which my older brother was in, he was in the 2012 class. I'm in the 2013 class. He was the year above me. So CJ was the first 2012 commit to Georgia because he was committed to Georgia first. And so they was, you know, of course, they loved him from the jump. And so when Oklahoma State came in, you know, talking to him, next Justin Blackman, next Des Bryant, yada, yada, yada. You know what I'm saying? They go to the statistics with numbers about how many passes you getting thrown and this, that, and the other, and Big 12 and the SEC and all that, being a receiver. And so CJ ended up decommitting from Georgia and going to Oklahoma State. And so I was just like, dang, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? And I've always kind of seen myself playing with my older brother in college, and I wasn't going to base it solely off that. At the end of the day, a good situation for me could be bad for him and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? And so at this time, I'm rated the 1 or 2 corner in Georgia. You know what I'm saying? Some people have me number 1, some people have me number 2. I think I could even drop a 3 on some people, but I was one of the top corners in Georgia, nonetheless. And so, you know, they offering the cats that's in Georgia. They offering some cats outside of Georgia. And so I was just like, man, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know my brother was committed to y'all and he decommitted, but y'all ain't got to be, you know what I'm saying? And so bottom line for them was, it was like, man, you know what I'm saying? We like you, yada, 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 but we want you to come to camp. Like, and so not that too good to go to camp or anything like that, but I was just like, y'all offering all these other dudes, y'all ain't making them come to camp, this, that, and the other, and y'all tell me, you know what I'm saying? So that was kind of like a trust factor with me. I didn't feel like it was solid just for the simple fact that my brother decommitted. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, man, I don't know. And so I went from that to wanting to go to Auburn real bad. My junior year, I used to wear a little Auburn hat everywhere I walked. I've always liked Auburn too. And so it just so happened during that whole time, they had, you know, coaches change all the time. They had a coaching change. And so I didn't really, and my offer still stood, but I didn't feel as confident in them as, you know, as I did before with the other coaches. And so then it came down to my senior year. My senior year during the summer before my senior season even started, I had committed to Oklahoma State. And so I've always liked it up there. You know what I'm saying? At the time, they had a big time corner who was my size, Justin Gilbert, who ended up going in the first round to the Cleveland Browns. But you know, it was a comparable deal, and so he was a lot faster than what I was, but we was like the same size. So I was like, yeah, cool. You know what I'm saying? And so you know, I committed to them. And so not that I didn't look around anymore, because when it came down to it, it was Louisville and Oklahoma State. That was when Charlie Strong was at Louisville, and everything was, you know, I like, you know, Louisville was pretty good. You know, Teddy Bridgewater, all them boys was out there. I took an official out there, and I really liked it. But at the same time, I didn't like it enough to, you know, decommit from Oklahoma State. And so, yeah, and so, and my dad over here listening to the conversation, but he talking about something but honestly, it was a chance that we knew that Charlie Strong, he was on the up and up at Louisville, so it could have been a chance that he was going to even get something bigger. And it just so happened that my freshman year at Oklahoma State, he got that job at Texas. And so he was on the rise anyway. So it would just been like, they could recruit me. Boom, as soon as I get there, he going to Texas, which that's neither here nor there, because it's just a part of the business and you got to do what's best for you and your people. So I definitely understood that. So yeah, bro, it was crazy, because I be having basketball games. Shoot, I see my dad up in the stands. He's sitting right here. One side of him be Louisville, the other side would be Oklahoma State. They'd be at my basketball games. Every other day they come into the school, you know what I'm saying? And so, but yeah, man, it was a cool situation. It was a fun process, but you know, at the end of the day, I always knew that Oklahoma State was where I wanted to go.
I got you. So when you get on campus, man, because Stillwater, man, it's a special place in Oklahoma, man. It bleeds orange, like they say, man. So once you get on campus, you know, how do you go from being a freshman, you know, to a senior, getting more playing time and just initially just balling out? Like, how was that first process? I mean, you being from Georgia, it's a different level of football.
Yeah.
You Georgia boys, man, y'all know how to play some ball, man. Y'all,
hey, that's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So talk about that process, man.
So, you know, boom, I get to Oklahoma State. Now I'm not gonna say that everything that, you know, transpired and happened up there wasn't because I did something or something, you know. But first of all, I had a great experience at Oklahoma State. It was I learned a lot, not only about playing ball, but also about, coming into my own man because, of course, like everybody know, when you get to college and you out on your own, there are a lot of things that you'll be faced with that, mom or dad not there to, help you along the way. Yeah, you can call them and talk to them, but it's different when you up there alone. Well, I had to, I was fortunate enough to be able to have my bro up there. And so it started off a little shaky for me, man. When I first got up there, I got into a little bit of trouble. And so that was on me. And so, when you first go somewhere, first impression is everything. And so I had to fight and, prove that I was, that I was a stand-up young man. And so I had never gotten in any other trouble outside my freshman year. And so, just being up there and playing at that level was a blessing to begin with. Not even, forget touching the field. Like even my redshirt years when I'm on the sideline seeing them cats, playing them big time games, I'm just like, dang, like, this live, like, you know what I'm saying? And so after my redshirt year, I knew that I wasn't ready yet. And so I still got a little tick after my redshirt year. And so but I knew like that I was not ready yet. Not mentally, physically. My being that I redshirted, it helped me, but at the same time, I knew I still wasn't ready yet. I knew I knew I wasn't ready. And so I got my feet wet a little bit, my red shirt after I redshirted. So that was a cool experience for me, man. I was able to guard some of the top dudes out there. Going on to my sophomore year, starting to develop a little bit more, starting to see the field a little bit more, starting to get into these little nickel packages and being able to spread my wings a little bit. But at the same time, I still had some older dudes that was in front of me that I wasn't better than yet. And so, the consensus on that, or at least the way that I see it, if you a dude that's a younger dude and you just as good as somebody that's older you or a little bit, not as good, you know what I'm saying? The older cat gonna get that pull every single time.
Every time.
Every single time. And so not saying that I was close or anything like that, but I knew it was a dude it was dudes that was in front of me that was still better than me. So in turn, it was still kind of a soft little year for me from my sophomore year. Then most tick out of even like all my years, you know what I'm saying? And it still wasn't just through the roof. And with that, I was able to contribute on special teams, and I made some plays here and there. But bottom line with me was, I'll just be, straight up honest about everything. In the Big 12, like all that again, in the Big 12, it's just attracting me. Everything going so fast. Everybody out there running 4.4s and 4.5. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I never been do my job. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't nothing too flashy. You know what I'm saying? And so I understood that wasn't really after a while. It kind of wasn't what they wanted. You know what I'm saying? They want a cat that looked like me but can run in 4.4s. You know what I'm saying? And so forget technique, forget if he know his responsibility. Boom, if he can run a 4.4, we want him to play. You know what I'm saying? And so, and that's kind of the, that's kind of the straw that I drew. You know what I'm saying? And so, junior year, it was although it was more playing time for me, it was still a rough one for me because that was the year that I first was like, all right, it's a dude playing right here in front of me, man, but I know I'm just as good. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm just as good. I was doing everything, you know what I'm saying? And so that was the last game of the year against Colorado in the Alamo Bowl. We're of course, like I said, we're playing Colorado, and so I'm on the sideline with my coach, and I was told that I was going to go in a little bit sooner than what he was trying to put me in, and so he kind of waited until it's kind of blowout time, not blowout, you know what I'm saying, but I was like, man, I need to be. I think I should be in at least the second, third drive or something. You know what I'm saying? And he tried to put me in there a little bit later than what it was, and so I was like, man, bro, like I feel like that's disrespect. Like you've been telling me, like I've been with him. You know, when you on the sideline, you stay with your position coach the whole time, wherever he go. You know what I'm saying? Especially when the defense is out there, because you waiting on, hey, go get so and so or whatever the case may be. And, exactly. And you want to be locked in on the game so you know what's going on. And so he telling me, yeah, hey, you about to go in. So I'm, you know what I'm saying? I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? Mentally, physically, let's get it. I've been watching film with them dudes. I knew none of them was out there going to mix me. I knew I was going to be straight. And so it kind of got to the time. I was like, all right, bro, like, you for real? So he finally wanted to try to put me in later on. I kind of didn't take it so well. And so at this time, I'm kind of fed up. You know what I'm saying? And so I was saying, I was like, Coach, I'm straight. Like, I'm straight on this. Like, I'm cool. You put somebody else in. And that's exactly how I felt, because I felt like I was being played. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of stuff, other things that was going on that I'm not going, too far get into the details, but like it was a lot of things that I was told that wasn't on the up and up. And the sad thing was that was coming from the guy that I trusted the most, him being my position coach. And so after that game, I was just hurt. Like I was just like, dang, man, this is my junior year, this ended my junior year, and so I got 1 year left. You know what I'm saying? It could be 1 year left ever to play football. So I'm just like, man, I want to make this, you know what I'm saying? I want to make it the best possible situation, And so I'm mad. I'm like, man, I ain't even going back. Like, I'm about to transfer. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't even, And so, I had a talk with my pops, and we eventually made the decision to stay. And so, going throughout all winter workouts, spring, I had a really good spring. Going into the summer, 4th of July break, 4th of July, they'll give us like a week off or whatever.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And so right before I was about to leave to come back to Fort Smith, I get a call from RDC. So I was like, all right, what's this all about? So as soon as I sit in there, he was like, this meeting about, and I kind of knew where it was going, but I was like, nah, coach, you know what I'm saying? Like what's up? And he was like, we're gonna go ahead and make the move to move you to safety. I was like, safety? Like, I haven't played safety, you know what I'm saying, my whole time here. I played a little bit during the spring, but like that wasn't my position. I haven't played this whole time. So they fed me you're gonna be 50-50 with so-and-so, this, that, and the other. And so at the time, I was like, man, I knew it was bull, but I was like, man, at the end of the day, I still want to be a team player. If they say that this is the best, situation, and so I'm just gonna go with it. I just put my pride to the side, because I'm growing a little bit as I'm getting older. You know what I'm saying? I'm growing a little bit, and so I was like, all right, So we get a little transfer in that played corner, so they was all high on them. But I was like, look, man, I knew I wasn't going to play at safety. You know what I'm saying? I haven't been here playing at safety. We already had guys, you know what I'm saying, that's already been established, that's already been starters. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, come on, bro. Like, y'all ain't got to sit here and lie. And so it just so happened that, you kind of go throughout the season. I'm playing safety the whole time, but I'm not playing. You know what I'm saying? I'm playing a little special team. This is my senior year now. And so you go throughout halfway through the season, we get one corner kicked off. One corner got kicked off the team. That was the guy that they was high on. Didn't work out with him. The transfer that they had, he ended up quitting. And so now they back to the drawing board. My DB coach called me in. He's like, "Hey man, I just want to let you know we moving you back to corner." I was like, "All right." You know what I'm saying? And so I was like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I was like, all right, coach, that's a bet.
You can't make
That's
that
a
up,
bet.
bro.
Yeah, you can't make it up. I was like, that's a bet, coach. You know what I'm saying? And so, of course, my first game, I get moved at the corner. I don't play. The second game, I actually play a little bit more. And so, kind of going throughout, like, I'm starting to play a little bit. Still not as much as it should, but I'm starting to play a little bit. So I mean, I'm satisfied. I'm just like, man, I'm not even about to be, I'm not even about to do all that extra stuff, man. That's my last year playing football. So we're gonna fast forward to the bowl game. Our bowl game is in Orlando. We playing Virginia Tech.
Okay.
And so it was kind of like the same old deal. You know what I'm saying? My people, they came out to Florida to see me play. And so you literally can't make this up, dog. You can't make this up. I ain't play a lick in the first half.
Okay.
Not a lick. This is my last game. This is my last game ever. I ain't play a lick. So I get to the locker room. I check my phone like every time I go into the locker room because my pops always send me a text. He always hit me up, be like, "Hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, keep your head up. Just keep going, baby." You know what I'm saying? Just always encouraging words. You know what I'm saying? That's always helped me. You know what I'm saying? And so, it so happened, you know what I'm saying? This time, I'm just mad. You know what I'm saying? This is my last game, and I ain't played yet. You know what I'm saying? He just texted me. He was like, "Hey, man, keep your head up. You know what I'm saying? It's going to work out. You're going to be all right." So I ain't even respond this time. I just put my phone back in there. Don't make it no better. As I'm walking out the tunnel from halftime, I see my little brother and my little cousin. They standing over there. This is my first time my little cousin ever seen me play. You know what I'm saying? My little brother, you know what I'm saying? Justin, like, he's standing at the fence like, "Hey, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's up? Like, why you ain't playing type deal?" So that only make it worse. I'm like, man, that's my little bro. He done came to see me play, man. I ain't getting second drive. Bro, when I tell you this could be like a movie or something, bro, I'm not lying.
Okay.
Second drive in the third quarter. Second or third drive in the third quarter. Both of the starting corner, listen, not one. And thank the Lord, you know what I'm saying, they doing good now. One of my boys, AJ, he just signed with the Cleveland Browns, and my boy Lily, he about to start his senior year at Oklahoma State. That's Greedy Williams, the corner from LSU that play for the Browns now. Yeah. That's Greedy Williams' little brother.
Okay.
And both of them dudes was dogs. I kid you not. On the same exact play, both of them boys got hurt and was out for the game. Listen, not one of them deals to where a cat get hurt here, and then just listen. They end up, I don't know how the play had happened. They ended up on the same side, on our sideline, and they was both hurt. And they was out for the game. And so I already knew what that meant. I said a little prayer for them. Hoping that they was good. And I strapped it up and I got ready to go. I strapped it up and I got ready to go, dog. Listen, I ain't gonna go into the details of the game, but at the end of the game, and it was a close game too. We only ended up winning by, I think, like 2 touchdowns or something like that. It was a good game. At the end of the game, and I only played the second half. At the end of the game, I had a pick, and I was the second leading tackler of the whole game, like straight up. And so let me just break it down for you. Let me just break it down for you. So I was like, man, I done went through all this, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was getting used and abused, you know what I'm saying? And so it wasn't the fact that I wasn't good enough, because at the end of the day, and I tell everybody that I talk to, at the end of the day, I feel like at Oklahoma State, they always saw me as a solid backup. They always saw me as a solid backup. And so it was one of those things to where it was like, you know, we're not going to start him, but if we have to put him in, we know that he knows the defense. We know he knows what he's going to do. And, you know what I'm saying? So they was good with that. And so being that I was an older veteran in the game at that point, I understood like they can't use you or they don't want you. They'll straight up tell you like, hey, you know what I'm saying? We just don't see it working out for you. You know what I'm saying? You should try to go elsewhere.
Yes.
I would have had no problem. I would have had no problem transferring somewhere else and trying to find somewhere to play for my senior year to make the most out of my senior year. I would have had no problem doing that. But like I said, a dude that I thought I trusted, being my position coach, I wasn't getting that type of talk. It was like, man, you good, man. You gonna do this, you gonna do that, do this, do that. And then the summer leading into my senior year, I get moved to safety, and I call him. I'm like, hey, man, like, what's going on? And he was like, man, I had no clue they was gonna do that, this, that, and the other. I'm like, look, if I am in your position group, I'm in your position group, and they can just up and grab another dude in your position group. The only senior you had, I was the only one. No, it was me and one other dude. We was both seniors. One of the only two seniors that you had. The other senior didn't play, mind you. The other dude that was a senior did not play. So the only dude that got game experience as a senior in your position group, you didn't know that they was gonna take him and put him in another. You know what I'm saying? At another position. Come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? And so he was never straight up with me on that. He was never straight up with me on that. And so it was just like, you know what I'm saying? It was one of those things to where I felt like, you know, I'm a whether, you know, people, you know, do believe or not, you know what I'm saying? I'm a huge believer in God, you know what I'm saying? And so I feel like in that situation, you know, God just wanted to, you know, kind of just touch me and be like, look, you know what I'm saying? I'm the one that's in control, regardless of what they trying to do and what they, you know what I'm saying? He knew that at the time, I didn't know that was going to be my last game ever. I was still going to try to, of course, go to NFL, CFL, wherever I could do, you know what I'm saying? But at the time, I didn't know that was going to be my last game. But he knew, you know what I'm saying? God knew that was going to be my last game. And so to be able to end it in that type of fashion, you know what I'm saying? To be able to end it in that type of, me playing my best game ever in the second half of, you know what I'm saying, of my last game, bro. You know what I'm saying? And so that was a huge deal for me. And so that's why I could, when it was over for me playing football, I could walk away from it with, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, shoot, I gave everything I had. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I walked away from the game with no ill will.
And
like,
I think that's,
when I was like,
I think that's
and so yeah, no doubt. And so it's just like, man, just being able to see it in that light, you know, I was like, when I and so this is what happened. So I do my pro day. It just so happened I mess up my knee like a couple of days before pro day. And so I still go out there and perform, but I didn't perform nearly as good as I was supposed to. And so I ended up not getting no calls. You know what I'm saying? So I went to a little CFL workout and with Winnipeg, and they had kept in touch with me after the workout. And so I was like, shoot, I'm about to go to Canada. You know what I'm saying? It's good. I got my passport and everything. And so all of a sudden, like, it was no communication. So I was just like, man, I understand how that go. You know what I'm saying? They can only have a certain number of American players anyway. So I was like, man, I ain't gonna be messed up about it. What I'm about to do is I'm gonna take another year and just train. So I was just training with Yusa, training with my pop. You know what I'm saying? Just being at home training. And when it came time, I had already hit up our strength and conditioning coach at Oklahoma State. I was like, hey, because if you don't sign no contracts and nothing like that, you can go back and do your pro day. And so I was like, hey, I'm gonna come back and do the pro day. And he was like, all right, we got you on the list, yada yada yada. And so I was like, bet. And so literally a week before that pro day, I pulled my hamstring, doing some running. And so at that time, I was just like, I was past the point to where, and it's sadly enough because we all go through it as athletes. I was past the point where, man, I don't know who I am outside of playing football. You know what I'm saying? I was kind of past that point. And so I was just like, man, it's time to start coaching, bro. Because that was something that I always knew that I wanted to do. And so it was an easy transition for me, just being that I knew that I gave it a valiant effort. And, you know, at the end of the day, it didn't work out to where I was supposed to continue to play ball. So, and I was good with it. So I was like, shoot, let's, you know what I'm saying? Let's go on, put on that coach's hat. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it popping. And so it's gonna be the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Same energy type. So
Okay.
yeah, man.
Man, that's a crazy story how your college career ended, man. I mean, you can't draw that up, even better than that. My next question for you is like, obviously, your college experience was rocky. It was good. You had good times, bad times, a lot of playing time,
Right.
playing time. Taking the communications that you had with your position coach and knowing what you went through, how's that going to make you a better coach, knowing how it felt to have a coach? Let's be honest, lie to you.
Man, to be honest with you, and it's crazy because I had these conversations with my dad, and so I before this, I always knew I wanted to be a coach, but even more so now, you know what I'm saying? You have people who you think that are in your corner that kind of just be saying stuff, you know what I'm saying, just to kind of keep you pleased, but really not being on the up and up about it, man. I told myself, I was like, look, man, when I start coaching, I'm always be that coach that's being honest about any situation. I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing, and I don't care if the head man trying to get me to do. Listen, because at the end of the day, them cats out there coaching FBS ball, Big D1. Them boys is making some good money. But at the same time, though, I'm not gonna be a cat that's gonna be willing to do anything because I know my salary good. I'm not built like that. Like I can't. Like these dudes, like you gotta go home and like look at yourself in a mirror. You're like, you cool? Like you just okay with, you know what I'm saying? That's flaw. It's something wrong with that. It's something wrong with you being able to lie to these kids all day. You being able to lie to these kids, tell them anything, and then go home and just be good just because your salary good. Man, you ain't got no morals, no values. You can't be no type of family man. If you know what I'm saying. And so I even got told one time, was like, man, I know sometimes y'all think I'm an Uncle Tom or I'm this or I'm that, but I still gotta feed my family. I still gotta do this. I still gotta do that. I was like, man, listen, you can provide for your family, but you ain't gotta be no sellout to provide for your family, bro. I mean, that's straight up. And so, one of my main things in becoming a coach, I was like, man, look, I'm gonna stand on the table for the kid when he need to be stood up for. Because sadly enough, it's terrible outside of being coaches. It's terrible people that's coaches. I mean, that's just like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like everywhere. It's terrible people that's coaches. And so, man, I wanted to be the person that can make a difference and not only play this game as,